Ìbà alára ìbà jèrò, ìbà ọ̀rọ̀gún ilé ìlá, ìbà àwọn tí wọ́n jáwé ká tó jáwé, ìbà àwọn elégbò káwa tó wẹgbò, kíbà tiwa ó ṣẹ lónìí o. Ìbà àwọn ẹlẹ́bọ lóògùn, ìbà àwọn ìyá ọ̀pàkẹ́ àlàkẹ́, arógbó aṣọ mábalẹ̀, ọ̀sàlàńṣólò òṣòlò ńsálá, atapájorí àtìfúnjẹ̀jọ̀, àtẹ̀jọ̀ òjòróòló, ìbà yín la ṣe lónìí o. Ìbà ọkùnrin àtobìnrin, ìbà ọmọdé àtàgbà, ìbà àwọn tí wọ́n ṣíwájú àtàwọn tí wọ́n ń bọ̀ lẹ́yìn. Ìbà Ògún lákàáyé ọ̀ṣẹ́mọlẹ̀ olómi ńlé fẹ̀jẹ̀wò láṣọ ńlé fi mọ̀kímọ̀ bóra bí aṣọ. Ìbà ìṣù láàlú ògiri òkò, ọ̀bẹ́lẹ́kún sunkún kẹ́rù ọ̀bẹ́lẹ́kún, ẹlẹ́kún sunkún láàróyè ìṣẹ̀jẹ̀. Ìbà Ṣàngó olúkòso àyárá iná, iná lójú iná lẹ́nu àbàkàtà tí ẹ̀ yẹ́rìyẹ́rì. Ìbà Ayẹmọjà màgbóòjò, ìbà Ọ̀ṣun ṣẹ̀ǹgẹ̀ṣẹ̀ olóòyè ayàn, ìbà òòṣà oko tí ò jẹ́ kórí ó burú. Ìbà òkè, ìbà ilẹ̀, ìbà afẹ́fẹ́, ìbà omi, ìbà iná. Ìbà gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ̀ ń gbọ́ wa lónìí, kíbà tiwa ó ṣẹ. Ìbà àwọn ládéládé, ìbà àwọn lóyèlóyè, ìbà àwọn láwoláwo. Veneration to the mothers of the night, especially. I bow before you, and I really appreciate your effort in ensuring that the world goes round. We also venerate our ancestors, and we ask that their energies stay with us. And we also say the universe will open up the depth of wisdom for us today, and we'll be able to teach each other from the wealth of it, from the vault of it. Kíbà tiwa ó ṣẹ lónìí o. Àṣìbà ọ̀tá tí ò jẹ́ ká rí mómí, àṣìbà àwọn tí ò jẹ́ ká rí légbé, àṣìbà àwọn tí ò jẹ́ ká rówó ná. Àṣìbà yín torí pé tí ò bá sẹ́yìn, àwa ò ní mọ̀ pé ipá tó pin síbì kan. Àṣìbà àwọn tí ò fẹ́ ti wà níre. Àṣìbà àwọn tẹ̀ ń takò wá, àṣìbà ẹ̀yin olófo káàkiri ayé. Torí tí là ṣe yan fàǹdà, ẹ má pò kìkì tiwa kiri káwọ́ mọ́ lọ́lá kiri káwọ́ sì mọ́ lókìkí. Ìbà yín o, iṣẹ́ tó rí ràn yín lẹ́yìn ṣeun, ẹ kọ̀ntínú. Kíbà tiwa ó ṣẹ, á dára fún wa o, ayé wa kalẹ̀ o, ayé wa kalẹ̀ o. If you can hear me clearly, let me get a yes so that we can start up on a good note today. If you can hear me clearly, let me get a yes so we can start up on a good note today. We have a lot of ground to cover today, and we so much need to seize time and take advantage of what we call. We must not settle for mediocrity. We must not allow anything short of perfection and of professionalism be what comes out of us. Thank you very much. Today, why are we here? We are here because we want to talk about uh, the strength of your limitation. And it will look as if what I titled today's topic to be is totally different from what I am going to say. They are intertwined. The strength of limitation. We are going to be using Odu, Ogbe Yonu to decode the strength of limitation. And I am not a motivational speaker. My whole existence is to upset you. Someone said, Baba Yoba, you look way too young to be able to possess such level of understanding and knowledge that you purge out. And so because of that, I do not think I should be under your tutelage. And I said, it's fine. One less person to worry about. Another said, Baba, I knew you through someone. And it seems as if the person I knew you through, you guys don't get along too well and all that. So because of that, I've decided to unsubscribe from your YouTube channel and all your platform. And I said, this unpaid announcement that you are giving to me, of what value is it in my life? I said, do you know that I didn't know when you subscribe? I really do not want to know when you unsubscribe, because with or without you, the truth will go far. I'm saying this to put so many things at rest so we don't get distracted. It is only black people that I realize that they feel that as a student in a certain institution, it is wrong for the lecturer or professor of that institution to kick against the indiscipline of the institution, to kick against the injustice of the institution, just because they knew the lecturer or a teacher through the institution. A lecturer or a teacher hold the fundamental right to strike against an institution should it go against their own or infringe on their own fundamental human right. So the job of or the duty of a student is to go to class, get educated, not to stand with the teacher, the lecturer, or the institution. Because until we correct the notion in Africa that institution should outlast the person who held the institution, we will not get by or get away from the sentimentalism and all this. So as a teacher, as a writer, as a lecturer, I owe the right to be invited and honor whoever invite me. But my allegiance is not to the platform that I was invited to. It reminds me of when I went to, what is it called? BBC came to interview me. And I did my interview with BBC. When I finished the interview, BBC cut some essential part of the interview, releasing the other part in order to cause commotion between me and someone else. Immediately, I released my own personal press statement against BBC. Somebody said, but they give you platform. I said, to hell with your platform. If you would twist the words of my mouth and go against my creed and my personality. Platform is platform. Platform is like a college, a university. Soldier will go, soldier will come. If you, because now not you are the one doing yourself, so you really don't need to, there is no need for allegiance. Not to this platform, that platform, or whatever platform. Not to me. If you are not interested in what I'm saying, get out. When you are getting out, don't inform me, because you never wrote me a letter before you. So don't text me regarding what is not part of my aim and objective. I want peace. So if you are problematic, go. Torí àṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni o. Àṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni. Etí wọn á ya, tó bá ya, wọn á fẹ́ ràn, tó bá ràn, á tún wá di. Ìbàjẹ́ ènìyàn sì rèé ò dáṣẹ́ orí dúró. If I stand to light your path and you stand to light my path, our children will walk in illumination of truth. But if you choose to say your own path and shining or light is the only way to the destination, off your light. Off your light. Pa inú ẹ pátápátá, I will buy generator. Off your damn light. Òrùn á ràn, òṣùpá á ràn. If I bring you to this platform today to come and speak your truth, and the people who listen to you on this platform decided to stand with you, it will not cost me a strand of my hair or a sleep, because I have done one good thing on this planet. But Black people will never be able to successfully make it to their destination. Why? Because of envy, because of jealousy. Envy and jealousy divide and conquer. This concept of suppressing, oppressing one another is what will make someone who have 100,000 YouTube subscribers to be jealous and envious of someone who have 3,000 YouTube subscribers. Someone who is having 20,000 views, jealous of someone who is having 1,500 views. Is that not madness? Is that not madness? Is that not envy? Is that not something we should think about and say something is chronically wrong somewhere? That somebody is after something that they can get. Ọ̀rọ̀ mi jọ bí òwe o. Pẹ̀tẹ̀pẹ̀tẹ̀ lọ̀rọ̀ tí mo sọ, ẹni tó bá tabà kó má fi ṣèbínú, kó lọ lè túnbẹ̀ ṣe nítorí ẹni tó bá lọ́pọlọ kó gbọ́rọ̀ tí mo sọ. And then you now reason between it. Àwa ò bẹ́ nìkan bínú o. A ò bẹ́ nìkan jà o. A ò torí ogun wálé ayé o. Àwa ò wálé ayé má yà o. Iṣẹ́ tí orí rán wa làwa ń ṣe. Ẹni bá jalè ló bọ́mọ jẹ́ o. So my teaching today regarding the strength of limitation is starting from that. Because you would never be able to know true peace of mind if you do not embrace what we call limitation. Àwa kọjá àwọn ọmọ torí ogun wálé ayé, ìwà pẹ̀lẹ́ ni ìlà fi ń ṣe fá, la sì fi ń ṣàwò. From time immemorial, somebody will introduce you to somebody. And if they introduce you to a useless person, would you follow the person? I want to ask a question. Can we ask a question? Assuming you met me, what's your name? There's a Rosie on the screen now. Rosie, assuming you have a home, a work, opportunity, a chance, a platform, and you want to bring me on that chance, on that employment, but I'm useless and unqualified, would you still bring me? Do you bring idiots on your platform? Do you bring people who have not built themselves on your platform? Do you bring people who do not know their strength, who are not standing in their place of calling your platform? Do you bring those people? I'm telling you the truth. If you bring me to your home, I'm coming I'm coming with benefit. I'm not coming because of what you have to offer. I'm coming because of what I am bringing to you. If you ever say you want to identify with me, you identify with me because I have understood my limitation, and in my limitation, you have seen value in me. I come to add value to your life. Àwa kọjá ọkùnrin tí obìnrin ń fẹ́ tó ń tàràkà ilé ayé, akọjá ọ̀rẹ́ tí èèyàn ní táyé ń kulúkúrú muṣu, akọjá babaláwo tí èèyàn ń pàdé tí bàjẹ́ ń dé bá lé ayé ẹ̀. Because why? Add value to yourself first. Get to a place where you have built value, you have stressed, you have toiled, you have marked your time, so that when people meet you, whatever chances they are bringing is going to yield increase on them. Are you with me? It is to tell all of us, go and add value to yourself. When opportunity meet value, it will bring profit. When opportunity meet value, it will bring, not probably bring a insane person to their life. Are you with me? It's that only when you know your limitation. It is the strength of your limitation that sells you out for people to embrace and patronize. People do not see limitation as something that is valuable. When a man decides to be overreaching, when you have chosen to go beyond what you have been called to do, beyond the office you have been appointed to, beyond the purpose of your existence, you will be utterly disgraced. A lot of you go into a relationship you know you do not deserve. You get employment that you know you cannot cope with. You go to countries that you know are beyond your stress level. What you meet there is death. Understanding spirituality starts from you understanding your limitation. Understanding spirituality. In fact, the beginning of spirituality is the moment you have a self-education, you begin to educate yourself about you, your limitation, your strength, your weakness. It is until you know your limitation that you are able to reach out to your strength. When you know that this is where you have been called into, when someone go over that, you know this is your part. It reduces the stress, like this person is saying, the stress of being greedy and envious in life, because nobody are truly ever happy by envy. Ìkọjá yìí orun rí kẹ̀kẹ́, ọwọ́ mi ò tó wọ́n fi gọ̀ǹgọ̀ fà á, ní máa ń fa kàkà kékú má jẹ sèse wọ́n fi ṣàwàdànù, ojú kòkòrò ẹlòmíì pọ̀. Àbínibí àtàbílítì, ó farajọra. Black people need to understand that not all of us will be out there. Some men need to understand that the fact that they are the man of the house or the husband in the house does not mean that they are the breadwinner. Sometimes you are just a bread eater. I've met several households and several marriages in my life, and eventually when I analyze it, I realized that the women are the bread maker, the breadwinner. They are even the one that serve the bread. Men just eat bread. But when you go over, I recall my day. The strength of limitation is knowing the kind of employment you can get or the kind of job you can go into that aligns with your ori and your personality, so you don't die untimely. So that what you want to eat does not become what eats you. Your limitation. It is in knowing the strength of your limitation, having a clue of what you are limited to, that you shed off some liabilities in your company. Limitation brings about the concept of cooperation. Limitation is you know me that I, for one, cannot eat this, even though it is what others are eating. Limitation is what makes you know that I, for one, cannot wear this color, even though others are wearing it. Limitation naturally take off the huge responsibility to be succumbing to peer pressure or societal trend. We should teach our children that the fact that everybody is doing it does not mean you should do it. Monwarai. Yoruba people say, "Ìwọ̀n lula ń ṣẹ̀ṣọ́, bá a ti kéré mọ́ là ń ṣoge." Cut your coat according to your size. That's when you don't wear oversized or undersized. Are you with me now? But we have been raised in a life where other people's success becomes our own failure. We go and attend a certain kind of education that brings about competition. It is not your joy if I come first in class. It is not your joy if I succeed before you. It is never your joy if I am satisfied ahead of you. Why? Because we were not trained to understand our own limitation. It is not everybody who comes first in class that becomes successful in life. Train your children to know that. It is not everybody that goes to university, colleges, or have professional certification that becomes successful in life. Oh, Nisheru aye. When I pray and say, "Oh, Nibari for what it is," what I'm saying, the plague of uniformity has reduced the black race to a point whereby anywhere belle face, let's just go. Now we are useless in our numbers. It is because of the plague of uniformity that people become overreaching beyond their strength and they meet untimely death. But we have been trained by our parents that because our cousins can speak better English than us, we cannot make it in life. That because the person in the class is coming first in position and we are third or fifth or 25th, then they cannot make use of our limitation. When you know how to make use of your limitation, even the most useless child can be useful in life. You just don't know how to manage their gifting yet. When you know how to make use of your own limitation, you realize that plague, that deficiency of your life is a service provision for some people, and they are going to pay you for it. So when someone comes first, we become sad. Yet we say, "I wish you luck." The day the luck comes, we got angry. People will say, "May you be successful." The day you become successful, you realize they are your enemies. So the one you wish, but you don't really wish, they become a thorn in your flesh. So when they eventually become your profession to them, it becomes sadness to you. The strength of your limitation is to know that this is who I am. I know my limitation. It is now your assignment all through your life to maximize your limitation. Then limitation becomes your strength. Not everybody will get a white collar job in life. Not everybody should become a musician. Not everybody should marry. Are you with me? A person who whose limitation is, human resources management should not go into marriage. A person whose limitation is lack of patience should not have business raising children. Not everybody. A person whose limitation is anger should not go into the work of spirituality. When we give you power, you will mess life up. A person who knows and understands that my limitation is with opposite sex should not keep having them around. Limitation, understanding it, determines what you eat, what you drink, where you go, what you wear, and how you live your life. And the moment you have the understanding of this, your spiritual journey starts. Understanding the strength of limitation. So many people, when you go to them for divination, they don't tell you what you cannot be. They don't tell you what you cannot do. They just cheer you on until they push you to the end of your journey. And the beautiful thing about the application of power is that it reaches for your limitation. Every single power in life. The problem of power is that it uses your limitation against you. If you are an angry person naturally, the day you have power, the power will look for your anger and use it to destroy you. If you are a proud person, the day you have power, your pride becomes your undoing. You cannot be a man who has not understood his limitation and begin to reach out for power. Limitation is gotten through self-education. You cannot be taught your limitation. You know, except you are an hypocrite. You know, every man knows their limitation. Can you harness it and take advantage of your limitation? Black people will not have any business with envy the moment we begin to understand the strength of limitation. Not all of us can be leaders. Not all of us can be leaders. Black people, we have one voice all over the world the moment they know that some are to be the arrowhead and some are to be the backup. Black people need to know that the only way to reach out for power is to come together and know that some are in the category of speaking, some are in the category of financing, some are in the category of administration, some are in the category of welfare, some. And nobody really make a good and a long-lasting establishment without harnessing the power of others. Igi kan báyìí ò dágbó ṣe o. A tree does not make a forest. How about if you are a leader, begin to know your limitation and start administering duties to your followers? How about you as a follower, begin to know your limitation and begin to accord the respect to your leader? Ẹ ṣe láàrin ara yín káyé ó lè rójú o. Kọ́kọ́ ó mọ ìwọ̀n ara ẹ̀ lọ́dọ̀ ìyàwó, kíyàwó mọ̀ ìwọ̀n ara ẹ̀ lọ́dọ̀ ọkọ, káwọn ọmọ mọ̀ ìwọ̀n ara wọn lọ́dọ̀ àwọn òbí, káládùúgbò mọ̀ ìwọ̀n ara wọn níbi tí wọ́n bá ń gbé. Know your boundary and stay put. If there is any need for competition, it should be with yourself, not with others. For the day I begin to compete myself with another, I've started running their own race. I will never win. No human can run the race of a fish and win in the water. No person can run the race of a bird and win in the air. O lè sáré bí mo ti ń sáré, o mọ bí tí mo ti rí agbára. O lè forí wórí kó má kú dànù, ó máa sáré kú ni. Àbí ìṣe mi, torí tọmọdé bá sáré sapá apá, àgbàlagbà ló dárí sọ̀rọ̀ kò mi ìrógùn àkó. Gbogbo igi télégbèdè tèmi bá fọ́ bà, má jẹ̀mú èmi àti ilẹ̀ ni pé kó máa dún. O mọ bí tí mo dá a sí. ó fẹ́ fara wégún ẹ̀yìn àrò ló padà sun ọmọ kú àìpọ́jọ́ ni àrùn àìpóṣù ló padà pa ọ́. O mọ tí mo jẹ tẹ́lẹ̀ kún o mọ tí mo borí mi sọ. You don't know my own covenant with my ori. You don't know the inconveniences I have to go through. You don't even know my lifestyle. You don't know what I do in the secret. O fara ń wé mi. O fara ń wé mi. Ìwọ ń fara ń wé mi. O máa sáré kú ni. Ẹni ò mọ bẹ́gbẹ́ ẹ ṣe là ó máa ń sáré kú ni. The moment you run my race, I will win you in that trap. Whoever decides to run another person's race, you will lose to them. You don't know how they have been training. You don't know what they are avoiding. You don't know what is at stake. You don't know the essence of their passion. You just saw they are running and you're running with them. You can't win the race of swimming with a fish in the water. Are you with me? The strength of limitation. And it is lacking amongst the black people. Ìmọ̀ wọn ara ẹni lè bó mọ̀ tí fi ń gba ìláwùjọ ayé. You can run your race. Do you know one thing about running your own race? You are the one who set your own rules. You know, the reason why you can't win my race because you don't set my rules. When you run other people's race, you will fall victim of their rules. So you need to come home to yourself and begin to say, this thing called limitation is not bad. You are the one not maximizing it. The strength of your limitation is to know where you can go and go no further. The fish will never compete with you on the terrestrial ground. They will never. They were not born for it. They were not made, they were not wired for it. Ẹni bá lóun ó bá bàbá jò gbá figagbága pọ̀ ó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní o. Ìbànújẹ́ lórí ìbànújẹ́, ìròbìnújẹ́ tó pọ̀ lọ́pọ̀ rẹpẹtẹ, depression upon depression. The same with you. I cannot run your race. So many of you listening to me right now, you know better than I do. You are more knowledgeable than I am. I would never dispute your extent and your essence. I would rather learn from you and apply it to my life if it will make it better. I will not drag you with you. The strength of limitation. A lot of people, everybody is going abroad, let's go abroad. They are frustrated abroad, they cannot even come home. Some people are not even made for cold region. Now they behave like someone with mental problem. Early to think they are very sensitive. The bipolar disorder that you should not be inheriting or getting, you have gotten into that. Do you know what they call bipolar disorder? You are in the wrong part of the pole. Wale o, ile ila wa o, baba tete wale o, ile ila wa o. Some of you need to come. Are you with me? Some of you just need to be at home. Huh? But you are there, you are struggling there. Home, you cannot come. Some of you, like I said earlier, are not made to be married. Some are not made to have children. But because everybody is doing it, you have done it. Look at you, you are mad. You are mad. Everybody wants to be an IT guru. You are also an IT guru. Every time you try to execute your code, it's always giving error. Syntax error you have been dealing with all your life. You have not been able to make one machine work. Oh, she logic, she agbeje, but you are blacksmith. Go and learn something else. Know your strength and your limitation. And start with parenting. Parents that compare one child to another. People that compare one family to another. Your child came home from school and said, Daddy, I am the best in my class. And you say, no, don't say you are the best. Let other people be the one that give you kudos. Oh my God, what is wrong? If the child knows that is the best, that's their strength. Let them be the best. Let them be the best. Why should I wait for my accolade to come from an outsider? Having known my strength. Ẹgbẹ́kẹ́gbẹ́ ẹgbẹ́ wèrè tọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ yín wà ń kó ẹ wo ibi tó sún yín dé. Ó forí wórí, ó finú wẹ́nu, ó padà jẹ́wọ́. My friends are doing it, I'm going to do it also. Look at your life. The strength of it. Know yourself first. Until mankind and black people begin to understand that education is not going to school. Education is knowing their limitation, their strength, their weakness. They will never be a race to reckon with in life. They will never be a race to reckon with in life until black people come to the table and say, we are unique. We are not like them. There will never be anything in life. And it starts from family setting, the way we train up these children. So many of black people go to four walls of schools to go and become slaves to a white guy that went to a vocational class or went to be an apprentice. Should you not be ashamed of what you call education? If the only thing it gives to you is a certification to be a slave, do you know where the concept of certificate started? It started in the era of slavery. When your forefathers were bought, there must be a document that proves that they are bought. When they are free, there must be a document that they are free. The concept of stock marketing, of Black Friday, of certificate and certification started from the humiliation that your ancestor went through. And so they need to put a stamp on you. You need to be given a tag. You need an approval for someone to be able to be human. You need someone to tell you that you are now free to be human. You are now free to be this and that. The concept of certification, you go to school to get it, is to rub it off for you as it was before. So it is now. Education has nothing to do with certification. Education is in knowing yourself. Do you know who you are? Do you know who you are? Because if you do know who you are, you don't need someone to certify you to be something. You do not need someone else to give you approval and say, why should you have approval to be known as an educated person? Now you are educated, but you are still a slave to those who knew nothing. You go from Africa to America to UK and all that to go and be washing dead body when you could be a owner of a morgue. Don't people die in Africa? Do they forbid you to be a professional mortician? If money is what you are looking for, why don't you commercialize dead bodies here also? Must you get abroad before you get things done? Some of you are truck driver. You are PhD holder in Africa, but you went abroad to go and be a truck driver. If you are passionate about driving truck, are you telling me that there are no business that require truck driving here? A lot of you are medical doctors, qualified nurses. Are there no sick people here? What if you do your own thing a different way? But then you are there. Of people. What is different from what your ancestors did when they got there and what you are doing now? I'm asking. The difference between what they used your ancestors for when they grabbed them, when they tortured them, when they cargoed them up, and what you are doing right now there, what is the difference? Black people, can you rise up? Understanding spirituality will affect every other part of your life. The moment you understand spirituality, the knowledge of self, it affects every other aspect of your life. It brings your pride back to you. It brings your ego back to you. It brings your worth back to you. It brings your value back to you. It brings you some sense of satisfaction because you know who you are now, and that is the greatest form of education. The greatest form of education. I just knew I can't bow to anybody and I don't want to bow to anything. So I became my God. And the day I became my God, I realized that the reason why people don't want to be God is because they don't want to take responsibility. And it is those who take responsibility that controls those who don't. The kingdom of Godship is for those who are ready to take responsibility. How much responsibility of your life are you ready to take? Not to mention of others. Your limitation. I knew my limitation in life is that I cannot bow to you. And I cannot bow to anything. I cannot go and cut down trees and be bowing to it. I cannot go and be cutting stone and be bowing to it. I am sorry, I cannot do it. And so I became my God. I became my own God. And my life changed. Now I realize that every single thing I've been trained up to be is different from what I can be. I choose to not serve the sky God. Because this sky God said I should bring my money to a storehouse so that they can be meat. If I give my money to someone that I'm feeding, that means I cannot ask this thing to feed me. If I decided to say I'm going to build a house for my God, then I cannot ask my God to house me and give me a house. He does not have the power to shelter himself. I'm building a house for you, I'm feeding you, and I'm still asking you for help. Who is God now? Is it me or you? Is it me or you? If God need money, let him go and work for it. If God need house, let him go and build one. I am building one. I'm a better God. I need money. I'm working for it. I need food in my storehouse. I'm asking for it. I realized that, God, there's something different about me. I need to be God. I am the God I'm looking for. I am the God I'm looking for. When we black people come to this reality, to know the limitations and maximize it, we are busy with the rat maze and the rat race and following each other, comparing one to another. And so one can say, if not for me, you cannot be this. To hell with you. Until we begin to raise our children that way. That they are all they need. And they are valid in their own little space. We will not create the mentality of expansion in them. We keep setting people up against people. This thing called Western education keep making us sad when one other person fail, when other person succeed. So the proof of our own success is the failure of others. What kind of a human being are you if the proof of your success is that I have failed? To be number one, I have to be second. To be the best, I have to be the least. To be the head, I have to be the tail. What kind of spirituality does that? What kind of people set people up against? Can't we all fly? Can't everybody just be free? Can't we all be first? Can we all be successful? Can we all be free? What does it cost us? How would you feel when you want to die on the deathbed and you realize that you can be everything you have ever dreamed of, but you refuse to reach out for it? That the universe has the resources with you here is not coming from the outer space, but the only reason why you didn't succeed is because you limited yourself. The strength of limitation. I hear people say, Baba, you can cover, it doesn't teach us Odu and all that. There is none of my teaching that has been outside Oduology. I might not practically just call it that I'm teaching you this or do another, but I give you the teaching from me. It is impossible for you to now know the strength of your limitation if you are not a patient person. The only prerequisite to maximize your limitation is patience, which many people lack. Oh, why don't you wait for your own time? Why don't you wait for your own time? Because those who do not understand the concept of time and timing will never be able to maximize their own limitation. The strength of limitation is only available for those who embrace patience. Are you with me? Are you with me? Patience. Everyone who understood the workings of time never miss out in time. They say it's an ancient word that the patient dog eats the fattest bone. They say it's not applicable, that you have to hustle for it. I mean, ní sùúrù lérè mọ́ Ọlọ́run ṣògo mọ́ wa. Ó ti wà lọ́lọ́run ṣògo gbogbo ṣe kánjú kú. A ní kánjú kú o. A ò ní bá wọn kánjú kú nílé ayé o. Patience. It takes time. It takes time upon time. Somebody came to me and said, I should do induction of Ifa for them. And when I did the induction of Ifa, I said, I want you to go for 7 years learning Odu before you enter into initiation. The person was impatient. The person became a rogue, practical rogue and a thug, and began to look for power that will kill them. Say you are not patient. You are not patient. Okay. Let's look at it this way. Now the person started asking me that. When did I stop being a Christian that I became this and that? I said, the fact that you don't know my journey does not mean it's not valid. And if there's anything that has ever worked for me in life, that's patience. I mark my own time. Somebody say, you are enjoying life too much these days. I said, I'm not the type that. But when I was enjoying poverty, were you sympathizing with me? Tí bá ipá yí ẹ fẹ́ bàjẹ́. Nígbà tí ìṣẹ́ ń bá mi múlẹ̀ bí ẹ̀gbẹ́ iṣu, o ò bá mi sympathize. Nígbà tí mo rá ń rí bí ráìsì àti chicken jẹ́nsìn, inú wa ń bí ẹ. You are not angry at my poverty, but you are vexed with my well-being. We're going to church and going to Igbodu to go and learn. We were marking time. The fact that it took a while to become public, or because you are just knowing us, does not mean we have not been in the business for a while. Somebody said, you smile too much this day. I said, when you angry at my sadness, when I was crying to bed every night, were you there with me? I was marking my time. Táyé ò bá fẹ́ bàjẹ́, má lọ try nonsense, má lọ tirangawa o, mo bá lọ wá wàá gbà o. These are people that were saying sorry to you when you are sad. The day you become happy, they challenge your happiness. Àwọn afẹ́ ajẹmáfẹ́ ayó, àrèbá ni jẹ́ àgbọ̀nsalẹ̀. They don't want you to die, they don't want you to be alive. So I told the person, you have to wait. Why? Because those who do not know Odu should not go into the forest of Odu. If you don't know Odu, you want to go into Odu. Where is the place of patience and time? Where is the place of apprenticeship? Where's the place of all that? Have we suddenly lost that value? No wonder people die young. No wonder people die quickly. No wonder people run mad everywhere. Are you with me? I forgot I didn't even attach the microphone at the front. I hope I'm as audible as people were claiming. Today I speak to you from Ogbeyonu. Because those who want to achieve what I've said earlier must learn the art of being patient. Patience is a virtue. Patience is a virtue. Those who are without patience meet untimely death. Those who are without patience meet their Waterloo on time. Àìsí ìkánjú lábẹ́ gbóná. Ẹni bá sì kánjú tolú ọrán, yóò wá rí pé gba rẹ̀ ò tó sè lọ́bẹ̀. Kì í ṣe gìràgìrà la fi lólé ayé ẹ̀. Alágẹmọ tí ń tẹlẹ̀ jẹ́jẹ́ ń padà ń kù ká mèlè tà sí ọpọlọ tí ń jọra ẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀. Do you know Alágẹmọ? Alágẹmọ is chameleon. Alágẹmọ is chameleon. Ọpọlọ is frog. If you look at them very well, you know they look alike. They look almost alike. Just that one have tail, the other doesn't have tail. Our ancestors said, you see the chameleon that walks so slowly, so calmly, so calmly, so calmly. Eventually he died. Not to talk of a frog that is bouncing itself on and smashing itself on the floor. Alágẹmọ tí ń tẹlẹ̀ jẹ́jẹ́ ń padà ń kú. Kámbèlè tà sí ọpọlọ tí ń jọra ẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀, ó padà yákú ni, ó ní yákú o. Èwo ni bá wọn kúkú ọ̀wọ́ o. Àmọ́ ní bá wọn wá kí wọ́n rí ikú rẹ̀. It starts from understanding time, knowing your limitation. It is in your limitation you know your strength, and nobody can understand the strength of limitation if they don't have relationship with patience. Patience. Ogbeyonu. Kí ló sọ fún wa? What is Ogbeyonu telling us? Let us now decode. It is lecture time. Pick your paper and your pen and write this Odu down. Ogbeyonu. Ogbeyonu is talking to us. From the right, we have Ogbe. In the left, we have Ogunda. It is the combination of Ogbe and Ogunda that the Babalawo called Ogbeyonu. Ogunda méjì ń bẹ. Ogunda méjì ń bẹ. Èjì Ogbe ń bẹ. One Ogunda is just Ogunda. If it is two, it is Ogunda méjì. One Ogbe is just Ogbe. If it is two, we call it Èjì Ogbe. Ogbe méjì. When Babalawo make divination for you and the inscription is saying Ogbe in the right, Ogunda in the left, then we call it Ogbeyonu. What is Ogbe? The inscription of Ogbe is the most simplest and the most basic. It is just 1, 1, 1, 1 all through in 4 places. 1, 1, 1, 1 in 4 places. Have you written that down? Are there people who are serious students here? So that you don't go to make divination tomorrow with Babalawo and they are calling Ogbeyonu for you as Ogundabede. 1, 1, 1, 1. That is Ogbe if you on the left. If you now have 1, 1, 1, 1 on the right again, that calls it Èjì Ogbe. Ogbe méjì. 2 Ogbe. But this Ogundabede Ogbeyonu is saying 1, 1, 1, 1 on the left, on the right rather. When you move to your left, you will now have 1, 1, 1, 2. That is Ogunda. Ogbe in the right, Ogunda in the left. Àwọn babaláwo panupọ̀ wọ́n ní ká máa pè ní Ogbeyonu. Wàá rí ìyọnú ayé lónìí o. Wàá rí ìyọnú ọkùnrin àti obìnrin. Torí ògbè ló ní kí Ifá ó gbè ọ́, ẹ̀yọ́nú ló ní káyé ó yọ́nú sí ọ. When you now want to use binary code, you have 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0. That makes it Ogbe in the right, Ogunda in the left. Ogbe, Ogunda is Ogbe Yonu. When Ogbe Yonu comes out during your divination, it is talking about patience. It is talking about patience. Patience in everything you lay your hands on in every area of your life. Patience with the woman you marry, with the man you are in love with the work you are getting, with your time season, and also your limitation. Wọ́n ní sùúrù la fi ń ṣọkọ ọkùnrin, la fi ń ṣaya ọkùnrin. Sùúrù náà la fi ń ṣọkọ obìnrin. Torí ẹni tó ní sùúrù ohun gbogbo pátápátá ló ní. Fi sùúrù pa wọ́n. Kill them with your patience. And you know the beauty about patience is that it gives you the right response to every chaos. Because you are not acting out of your emotion, you are acting out of your thought. Listen to this story that birthed Ogbe Yonu. Ogbe Yonu talks about when Orunmila, Baba Gbonirikun, was facing difficulty in life. He was still facing difficulty in life. It got to a point where he needed money. He needed a wife. He needed children. He needed fame. He needs promotion. He needs wisdom, knowledge, everything a man should have. But he didn't. He couldn't just fathom his life. Messy life. Messy life he was living. So he went to Babalawo to go and make divination. One Babalawo told him, Orunmila, you have to be patient. But I'm growing old. And I have nothing to show for my existence. I will make this divination somewhere else. He left. To make new divination somewhere else. They said, Baba Orunmila, Ogbe Yonu, Tin Yoloju Ifai. He's saying you have to be patient. That's the reason why they call you a patient when you meet a doctor. Not because you don't have a name. They call you a patient because they want you to have patience. Only those who are patient with their doctor restore their health. Only those who are patient with their doctor. A patient is someone who has realized his own limitation. Maybe you've been self-medicating. Maybe you've been going through the ways of the crooked. You do not get inducted in the place of a patient if you have not surrendered. Surrendering means you know your limitation. So you seek for help. How many times are you going to seek for help instead of you competing with those who should help you? Those who ask for the way never miss their road. They call you a patient because they are telling you that without your calmness, you can never get well. They also make you understand that you have to go through regulations, rudiment things. Somebody was asking me that, Baba, are there rites in African spirituality that requires you to be naked? I said, are there treatments in Western medicine that requires you to be naked? Sometimes they even tear your intestine open. When you go to your doctor and they tell you to be naked, do you ask them questions? when they are operating on you and they have to cut your intestine open, do you come to argue with them? What is your major aim at that time? Is it to get well or that nobody should touch you? So somebody said, okay, this Africans, what if I am not around to get it done? I said, only make divination with a babalawo that you trust. It is his own duty to deliver what the divination is to you. It is your own responsibility to now say, I want to do, I don't want to do. I said, remember, whoever you are sharing your nakedness with, make sure there is a caveat between you and them that they can be sued, and you also can be sued back in return should anything go beyond the use of this picture, this nakedness, aside spiritual application. I said, there are several rites, there are several rituals that requires nakedness. So it depends on your relationship with the person you are dividing with. You can either come home or you can work it out with yourself. That's your business with whoever you are dealing with. And the person said, okay, that makes a lot of sense. When we give you things to bath with and all, do you put on your clothing while wearing them? Why having your bath? Is that how you have your spiritual bath and all that? There are rights like, I would call it replacement rights. Someone is asking if it applies to men, both male and female. It is not gender specific, both male and female. Like the redemption or the replacement right, where one needs to have their bath on a certain form of, grave, kind of making a pseudo grave naked. Sometimes we give you stuff and say, go to the riverside and do what you have to do there. So if it's a woman, we use a she goat. If it's a man, we use a he goat. You get the point? If you are not available, we also get someone that is of your age range and age grade who understand the ways of the ancestors to help you and represent you. In the ancient times, it was figurines like effigy, figurines that are carved in the name of that person. So we call the head, the energy of that person into the figurine to get things done. But the danger of creating a figurine with your approval is that even if I use pin to touch the figurine, your life will be messed up wherever you are. So imagine that you are now not in good terms with someone you are giving approval on your energy. They will mess you up. So when figurine was going back into where it's coming from, photography started. And it's easier. So I came from the aspect of being patient. Now, this patient now goes into the hospital to meet doctors, surrendering to the rules and regulation or the procedures the doctors is giving to them with the aim, one aim only of getting well. Now, except you assume the position of a patient person, healing is far from you. Recovery is far. Restoration is far. And a patient is someone who have embraced their limitation. And the moment they agree that I am limited in this scope, this knowledge, this way, this style, this procedure, they have attained some level of strength and healing starts immediately. A patient is someone who also understood that there is nothing like miracle. You have to mark time, season, because it is not the day you got healed that you become healed. You have been getting sick gradually. It took patience for you to get to be broken down. It will take patience for you to be built up again. It's not the day you fall down and have the stroke that the stroke started. It has been there all the while. So it is not the day that you fall down with stroke that you will rise up on your feet again. Are you getting the concept? Sorry, am I making sense or I'm lost in my own word? If I'm making sense to you, can I get a yes? People don't fall down with sickness or get ill one day. So we don't expect them to be healed in one day. Now, in the period of getting healed, being diagnosed, to getting restoration, there is a need for patience. Why? Because the period of getting infected to the point of you breaking down, it took patience for you. You can call it that you don't know that ignorance. It took patience for that ailment to take hold on you. So a patient is someone who has come to the point of understanding their own limitation and allowing those who know better than them to get things done. In the state of impatience, there is no need for smartness. In the state of impatience, there is no need for argument. In the spot of being patient, there is no need for you to now make suggestions that, especially when you are not a professional in that field. So I branched into that to tell you the reason why they call you a patient in the hospital. Why a babalawo can call you his own patient also, because in that world, there is a need. If there is no patience, there is no healing. Without patience, there is no breakthrough. It is applicable to every aspect of our life. Patience. A country that is going through downtime did not become down on the day you discover it. It took patience from protesting, from talking. It took your silence to get to where it is. There is no magic a president can perform. It takes patience also to retrieve it back to normal. So there is no way African spirituality can be applicable to you without patience. However, do you know that if you choose to not be patient with a procedure, you have the choice to go without it? So it is one thing for doctor to make prescription to you and give you suggestion to say this is a lifestyle adjustment, and another thing for you to buy the medication, another thing for you to use the medication. If I say you need a bed rest, and because you think you know better, you refuse to rest. If I give you medication, you will still die because you did not rest. If I say you need to perform this particular rite in the midnight and you decide to perform it during the day, it will look as if you have done the needful, but the problem will persist. If we say take this medication, take this particular thing, buy this item, you will do this naked, you will do this while wearing clothes, you will do this in a T-junction, you will do that at the back of your house, you throw this in a field, you throw this in a dustbin, and you refuse and you decide to do what you want to do, your problem will still persist. So it is not the problem of Babalawo that you did not get results. It is the problem that you did not obey. So you will now move from one place to the other, or pay one for your jail. Why? Because you did not know your own limitation. You did not understand your own limitation. You didn't understand your limitation as a person. Are you getting my point? Thank you. Now, it is this limitation that Orunmila knew that made him begin to make divination. What is happening to my life? I need help. They now told Orunmila, you have to assume the place of a patient. Go and have patience. That's what we are decoding. Thank you for putting it here. Healing is optional. It is when somebody is now trying to mandate you or press you or suppress you or force you to do a thing that you know they have an ulterior motive. A true Babalawo should give you option. I always tell people when I make divination for that, I say, if you have a Babalawo, this is my own discovery, you can do it with them. But if you want me to help you, no problem. But it is not a must that because I'm the one who make divination for you, I'm the one who is supposed to carry out the rite. If your matter requires you to be naked, to be this, to be that, it is not a must. You can do it somewhere else. You can decide not to do it. If it requires you not to be naked, it is not a must. You go and do otherwise. That's your problem. Orunmila said, for how long will I be patient? I'm growing old. Every of the children I raised up by my, they are gone. From one place to the other, he kept making divination. They said, you, Baba, go and be patient. Be patient. Wait for your time. Understand your limit. Whenever people tell you to be patient, they are telling you to understand the strength of your limitation. Embrace your limitation. Say, no problem. I will be patient. There is a certain king. This king is called Ajalorun. Ajalorun. Ajalorun is very wealthy. Extremely wealthy. And so powerful. Ajalorun is in a position to help Orunmila. But he was taking his time to check this man out. You are the one who preaches to others. I want to test your own also. So Ajalorun picked, after several years, Ajalorun told one of his servants, say, I want you to carry 4 calabash. This calabash, whoever pick one, whatever it is they pick, they will become that thing. I want you to go to the house of Orunmila. Tell him I sent you with 4 calabashes, but I want you to pick just one. One calabash is a calabash of money. Remember, Orunmila is looking for money. The other calabash is the calabash of wives. The third calabash is the calabash of children. The fourth calabash is the calabash of long life. There are 5 calabashes. The 5th calabash is the calabash of patience. I say it again. 5 calabashes that was sent by Ajalorun to go and give to Orunmila, where he must pick one. The first one is the calabash of money. The second one is the calabash of wife. It's also single. The third calabash is the calabash of children. Is childless. The fourth calabash is the calabash of long life. is sick in his body. The fifth calabash is the calabash of patience. The energy of wisdom. Baba, you can only pick one. Seed, you can only pick one. Arrow, you can only pick one. Larry, you can only pick one. Udeze, you can only pick one. Sarah, you can only pick one. J. Powell, you can only pick one. Orumila was in tears. What kind of confusion is this? I am broke. I need money. I am single. I need a wife. I am childless. I need children. I am sick. I need health and long life. I can pick one of these, but you are telling me that I can pick only one, but there is patience there. Ọ̀rúnmìlà ò pe Fálékè, kò pe Ṣùgbọ́lè, kò wọ̀run yànyàn bí ẹni tí ò ní kú mọ́. It is one thing for you to make divination. It is another thing for you to obey it. That's what makes you a patient. A good patient is the pride of their doctor. A good patient is the pride of their doctor. If I pick wife, children, money, long life, I wouldn't be right. I wouldn't be wrong. But I've heard that I must pick patience. That patience is what I need. So Rumila said, well, let me not say that this divination is a lie. Let me pick patience. There will always be another time for it. So he picked patience in anger. Immediately he picked patience. In anger, he went into his house and just threw it away. And he started crying. Sometimes patience will bring agony to you. Sometimes people think those who are patient are fools. Sometimes people put you in the category of the loser, but just because you are patient. A patient person is not a friend of proud people. The price of being patient is that people will take you for a fool, but you are not. He threw it in one corner of his house. And the moment this calabash hit the ground, started speaking, because the servant has left with the other 4 calabash. The device, the calabash, started communicating with the rest. Are you going to leave only me here? How am I going to live my life? The first calabash, which is of money, asked the servant, just wait, are you truly taking us back? And the servant of Ajalorun said, yes, now, that's what my leader said. And the calabash of patience said, calabash of money said, do you know I cannot survive where there is no patience? I don't come to those who are not patient. If I come to people who are not patient, I come as a death, not as life to them. If you take me back to Ajalorun, I will kill Ajalorun. Just take me back to where patience is. The servant trekked back to go and give the calabash of money to Orunmila. Ọtún padà wá ni. Mo pọ̀ ní kí ọdún pé ikú bàbá yìí pé kí n gbé kan. I can't obey ikú bàbá yìí now. That the calabash of money said that where there is no patience, he cannot come. And if he comes there, it will be death. Orunmila said, no problem. You can go. It took some 10 per miles. And the calabash of wife said, do you know that where there's money and patience is where women stay? Sórí sùúrù la fi ṣọkọ ọkùnrin, la fi ṣọkọ obìnrin. Sùúrù sì la fi ṣaya obìnrin. That if there's no money and patience, that money can attract a woman, only patience can make a woman. That you can have money and you have a wife. But if you don't have patience, there is no the wife will be a terror to your life. Women are not supposed to be found where there is no patience. A man that does not have patience cannot be a good husband. A man who do not know how to nurture does not deserve to marry. A man who do not know how to ignore some things do not deserve to be called the husband of a person. The calabash of a wife said, if you take me to Orunmila, I will sniff life out of that guy. As a matter of fact, I'm hating that guy already because he has given away money. On top of that, he now gave away patience. What am I using for him for? I don't want my master to die. This servant of Ojarorun took the money back to, I took the calabash of wife back to Orunmila. Okay. He left again. And the calabash of children started talking. Now, are you saying that now? Are you saying that you want to take me back to Ajalorun? If you take me back to Ajalorun, what will I be there for? There is no money. There is no patience. There is no woman to procreate with. How will what is it? There will be barrenness. So if you don't take me to where there is patience, money, and woman, there will be barrenness. There will not be fruitfulness. So do you want your master to be barren? The guy said, "Wala deo." Ran back, took the calabash of children to Orunmila. While he was going back, the last calabash was just looking. He was just looking. It was the servant that now said, "You will not talk. The way you are, your silence is affecting me." The calabash of long life and health now said, "If not that you adapt, if they send you the message of a servant, why don't you deliver it as a child, as a son?" You left patience somewhere. You left wife somewhere. You left children somewhere. You even left money somewhere. And you are taking long life away. Are you mad? You think I'm with you? I have left you behind. Because long life stays where there is patience. Long life only comes as an application of having wealth. Long life stays where a man is patient with a wife. Long life stays where a man is ready to nurture his children, to give him peace. Long life stays where those things stays. That is how Orunmila have money extensively, became the husband of plenty women, have several children, and also long life, because he chose patience. He wouldn't have if he did not understand his own limitation. That is what gave birth to Ogbeyonu. Sùúrù baba ìwà. Patience, the foundation of good character. But when we talk about patience, am I talking about being patient with others alone? No, I'm saying be patient with your own self. And only those who know their limitation are patient enough for their day of breakthrough. Remember that Ogbeyonu is the combination of Ogbe by the right, Ogunda by the left. Babalawo call it Ogbeyonu. Patience with yourself first, because you can't give what you don't have. Patience. Bring about the things that you think is not enough. excessively to you. Patience is the only virtue that magnetizes the rest. While you know your limitation and understand your weakness. Patience. It takes patience for a man to speak the truth to himself. It takes patience for a man to look at himself and say, this is not in my nature. So you see how you don't need Jesus to know patience. You don't need the Holy Spirit to be patient. You don't need to go to Allah before you know it. Your ancestors knew this. You only need to understand their wisdom. You only need to understand their wisdom. Aboruboyo, Aboye Poshishe. We shall be taking questions from those who have them while we are waiting. So if you have any question, this is the time for you to now put up your questions so that we can begin to answer each other regarding your questions that you may have. Any question at all, you are free to ask it. Somebody is asking, so this Odu is not to be confused for Ogundabete? No, this is not Ogundabete. We spoke about Ogbeyonu today. This is not Ogundabete. Ogundabete has a new story. They call it Olori Ole ni Warun, but the real story of Ogundabete, we will treat it some other time. It's not like you'll be stealing and all that. It's a eulogy. I will explain to you some other time. Somebody said I should dance. I'm actually playing the music of Owomide Iba for you so that while waiting for your question, but it seems we don't have questions today. So in a few minutes, we just we'll just wrap it up. Certainly, the history of Black people reach back beyond colonization and the invasion of the white people. We speak about the ancient days, the thousands upon thousands of years before we came into what we call the civilization, which I actually refer to as chaos of today. So when I speak about the ancestors, I don't speak about your grandpa or grandmother or those people who existed like 200 years ago or something. I speak about people who existed long before. So those are the people I call the ancestor on my own right here. Joyo is saying that, Baba, are there specific rights people in diaspora can perform to deal with lack of sun and the hostile environment? No, there are no specific rights than for you to come back to Africa. This is your land. The people in the white people in diaspora, in the where you call diaspora. However, do you know that the meaning of diaspora is dispersed? People who are dispersed. People were scattered abroad. That means diaspora. People who are scattered abroad. Do you know nobody is chasing you from home? This is the land of the sun. They call you the son of the sun. The son of the sun. S-O-N of the S-U-N. Look at your skin. You are melanated. This is where you belong to. This is your land. You should be raised here. You should be born here. You will not have a reason to complain about the sun if you are born here, if you live in the geographical location where the universe wants you. Those of us in Africa are not complaining about the sun. As a matter of fact, one of the reasons why I can't live abroad is because of the cold. I'm the son of the sun. I love Al-Kabulan. I love this place. So the only way you can get rid of it is to come home and enjoy the sun. It's free here. There's no need to make a right for what is free for you to do. Thank you. So that's what I would say about that. No specific right and all. Thank you. Thank you. Sid is saying that, Baba Yoba, please, what does it mean when one is told not to have a big wedding, party, birthday, especially and all? It means that your divinity does not align with crowd and noise. I simply put that way. Sometimes it could be because they want to forestall some set of calamity, not necessarily by you or by people. It may be for people who are coming, so that your wedding day does not become the days of tears for people. You get the point? So something like that. Emmanuel is asking, what do you think about the Santeria leukemia? Should people look into them? Well, you realize there is a strong connection between the Santeria and the practice of Oduology. Just that is the diluted part, is way too diluted, way too light kind of African spirituality. Because when they took your ancestors in to diaspora, when they dispersed them, when they took them as slaves, realized that we were checking out documentaries and teachings, and realized that Africa contribute to more than 50% of slaves that was cargo to both Europe and West and America. More than 40. No, Africa contribute to more than 90% of slaves that were cargo to Europe and also the West India, which is the Americas. And the people of West Africa from Nigeria, especially Yoruba people, the Igbo people, and the calabashes, the Yoruba people, the Igbo people, and the Calabas contributed to 40% of these slaves in totality. 40% of these slaves in totality. The people of the Yoruba land extend from the old Oyo Empire. The old Oyo Empire comprises of major part of southwestern Nigeria of today, to the whole of Togo, to the whole of to the whole of Cotonou, to the whole of the Ashanti in Ghana. That's the reach of old Oyo Empire. And of all the slaves in the world, Yoruba people contributed, Yoruba people, Calabar people and all, and Igbo people contribute to 40% of these people who were cargoed out. So when they went with their spirituality, and they greatly influenced many people when they were deported into several islands and also the South America. So they took their spirituality with them, and sometimes they were gargled, their tongue were cut off and all that, so that they don't pass across the oral knowledge to their next generation. And so what you really have in Brazil today, we'll call it 0.001% of what Yoruba spirituality could mean, or African spirituality could mean, because they don't have the detail, they don't have the understanding of how it works. They had no clue or close relationship with all these ancestors, which we still have a relationship with. The Lukumi people also are still part of the descendant of the Yoruba people from West Africa. So a bit of the spirituality of Yoruba people is with them also. That's a scholar question. We should deal with it by date and time, which I'm not prepared for here. Thank you very much. Somebody is asking, Baba, what is your take on Africans born in Africa but unable to tolerate the sun when it is at its highest? See, you will be able to tolerate the sun at a reasonable degree. When it is too much also, it is bad. And don't forget that we are going through a lot of ozone layer depletion. We should educate ourselves about the climatic condition, the disposal of our waste, and the pollution of our atmosphere, which we are working against in nature. The weather doesn't used to be like this. The rain season, the dry season, the harmattan season, everything is changing because mankind are wicked against the very thing that can call the concept of God. You get the point. So it used not to be something you cannot tolerate, but an average African can tolerate the sun at a certain degree. Too much of everything is actually bad, you know. You get the point? All right. So someone is saying, if my divination requested no red clothing, but must all the materials have no red dot? That doesn't mean, when we say no red clothing or black clothing, we are saying predominantly red or black, just like I am. If you say no black, you can't be up and down. My cap is black, everything, even my wristwatch is black, my shoe is black. We're saying it is against you to go odd. You can still put on a cloth that have the touch of this, touch of that, but not really predominant. I'm trying to read up through questions if I have any. All right. My question, somebody is saying, my question is, why do people say lot to a Babalawo because they take away your gift in spiritual gift? I don't get that question. I don't get that question really. You can retype it. If I still have time, I will answer. I don't want to think of what is my head about. How do I know what color not to wear? It is through your divination. You just don't go to Babalawo and say, what color can I not wear? It is during the time I'm making divination that things like this come out and say, okay, you can't wear this, you can't go this, you can't marry this person, you can't eat this kind of food, you should take this kind of job and all that. It's during Akose Jaye we check that for people. We check it for people and you're able to know. Someone is asking, why would someone be asked not to eat okra? The same reason why a medical doctor will tell some people to use ciprotab instead of amoxicillin or augmentin. What works for you is what you should go with. There are some things called spiritual allergies. Some element of nature still work against you, even though you are part of the nature. So it's good to know what your limitation is. It's still part of what we're talking about. The strength of your limitation. I know it's something you are used to eating, but maybe that's the reason why you are where you are. Some of you practically married who you should not marry. Until they nearly kill you, you do not leave them. People in wrong reason, wrong relationship for different things, and if we allow time to go over it and all that, they must kill a topo. Are you getting the point? Sometimes before you now get back to repairing it, things might have been damaged. So even though ciprotab or fluoxetine is the same class of antibiotics with augmentin or the penicillin drug, read about things. Because your own nature react to it, they are trying to achieve the same result, but they make different prescription. They make different prescription to you. You get the point now? So that might be the reason. That might be the reason. Might be the reason why some people are told to do some things while some people are told not to do some things. You can bring in your question more. I have 5 more minutes before I call it a day. Go ahead with your question, please. Someone is asking that, so when there is a divination told that not to wear a certain color, is that permanent? Your Babalawo will tell you if it is permanent or it is temporary. You get the point? Some people are told not to eat meat temporarily. Some are told not to eat meat ever again by their medical doctor. So it applies to the same thing applies to what we're doing. So if it is permanently, they will tell you. If it is not permanently, they will tell you. I'm not in position to tell you that because I'm not your Babalawo and I did not make any divination for you. Somebody is asking, Baba, do you believe in angels? What kind of angels? The ones that have wings and they are white in complexion, or they are Europeans? I don't believe in those angels. But yes, do I believe in angels? Yeah, I believe in angels. The angels look like me. They look like you. You are my angel and I am your angel. Being angelic is being at the disposal of others when they are in need of something. So I'm encouraging you to go out there and be an angel to someone who is in need. If you have food that is enough for you to eat and you have extra, be an angel by giving to people who do not have anything. If you have a house for people to stay and you are not staying there, be an angel by sheltering them. If you have an advice to give to someone so that they don't get destroyed, be an angel by giving them that advice. Angelic mission is when you are the service of one another. A humanitarian is an angel. An angel doesn't have color, skin, a certain color or something. Angels are people like you, and you don't have wings. You just give out what you have. If you have two clothes, give to others. If you have opportunity, share with others also. I have wisdom and I'm sharing with you, so I can be your angel in the times of ignorance. That's the concept of Christ also, or being a savior. Christ is not some man that was nailed on the cross. Christ is someone who is saving others from embarrassment, from death, from death, from shame, from hunger, from nakedness, from lack of shelter, from lack of employment. You can be the Christ to someone. And that's my concept of being an angel. So if I believe in angel, yes, I do. But if they have wings and they are Europeans, I don't believe. I don't believe in that. Someone is asking, and that's going to be our last question. The person is asking, is circumcision to a male child just a Christian practice, or is it part of African spirituality? Circumcision is a cultural thing, not a spiritual matter. It is a cultural thing. Some people learn it, some people don't want to. What is the function of your penis, of a male penis? To empty bladder and also to ejaculate and to also pleasure. You get the point? So can you empty your bladder without being circumcised? If yes, okay. Can you empty your sperm without being circumcised? Yes. Can you pleasure a woman without being circumcised? Yes. There is nothing significant about cutting off the foreskin of a penis. Nothing spiritual about it. So it's an optional stuff. If you want to be circumcised, why not? If you don't want to be circumcised, why not? You get the point regarding male circumcision. But a lot of you practice African spirituality with religion of the Vedas in mind. It doesn't matter what I say. Some of you will still call your pastor to come and do your naming ceremony if you have a child now. It doesn't matter what I say. Some of you will still go to church to go and do the wedding. It does not matter what I say. Some of you will still call your pastor to come and do housewarming. It does not matter what I say. You will still go to mosque and do all anything you want to. You have been conquered by what is in vogue, what is prevalent. So you think if you don't do it that way, then it is wrong. So I give you the opportunity to be free today. Either you want to remain a slave or you want to be yourself. So that is it. Thank you very much. And that's going to be the end of all right. So somebody is saying there was a Ghanaian sister from Canada I saw struggling with luggage in a European city who I helped during my lunch break, and she believed I was an angel. That's how to be an angel. This is the last question. Final. Said, Baba, what else can I do to remember dreams? Because sometimes I can. Baba Yoba, please, what does it mean that one is called Onimajemo and that the person must be powerful like prophet or Babalawo? Who told you? I know this sounds like a Christian word. It sounds like a Christian word. So I have no answer to a Christian ideology. I really don't have an answer to a Christian ideology. Someone is saying that colors such as red important in African spirituality. All colors are important. All colors are important. Just know the one that is important to you as a person. Every color is important. Know the one that is important to you as a person. Baba, what is the significance of urine therapy healing in connection with African spirituality? Urine therapy, is it? Do you drink the urine? What do you mean urine therapy? What do you mean by urine therapy? Because I know there are some times that some people are attacked some way, and then we need maybe a pregnant woman to urinate on them and all. Because at that moment, they are in the state of their higher spirituality, having extra life in them. So it is the energy we need. It is the energy you need. But those who drink urine, if the body needs the urine, why does it push it out? If the body needs urine, why does it push it out? I don't know why people are drinking urine now. Ṣé lè tún jẹ̀gbẹ́ náà? Ṣé ẹ tún ti ń jẹ̀gbẹ́? Ṣáwọn èèyàn tún ti ń jẹ̀gbẹ́? Have you people been eating your excrete? That will be the end of today's lecture. It's going to 2 hours already. May you be filled with wisdom from above, beyond all level of intimidation. May life smile on you, and may prosperity be your friend. Whenever it is time to pick patience above money, may you have enough patience to pick patience. Bye for now.